right. Good evening and welcome to the class. I hope you all can hear me and then you can see my slide. If that's so, can I get a thumbs up, please? If you can hear me and you can see my slide, can I get a thumbs up? All right. The last time we were trying to navigate through the Linux operating system using some commands, and the prominent ones to start with, we are able to lay our hands on how to be find one thing or the other, just in case we are told to find some certain things in our files and directories, then have to be able to use the absolute and relative part to go around our file systems, then how we can be able to use options like the M time. All right, so be able to also filter based on the last time a file was updated, and then utilizing also the white character, which often represents can be able to stand for anything that we are looking for in a file. So today we want to talk about some of the Linux commands in the bash shell, that is can see. All right, so what are those things that we want to talk about is how to create and modify directories. How do we create new directories? How do we create new folders? If you are on Windows, how do we be able to do so? There are two commands. There are two commands that gives us the possibility of doing that. And one of them is make directory, which creates a new directory, and the other one is remove directory, which removes an empty directory. So for us to confirm whether any of these commands worked, remember, make directory, you will give us the directory name. If actually you are creating a directory and you are not in the particular directory where you want to create that directory, that means you are in a particular folder, and that folder is not where, and that folder is not where you want to create your directory. Of course, you will explicitly specify the paths. That is why the relative and absolute path that I thought on the last two class is also essential for us to know what we are doing. So if you don't know that particular topic, absolute and relative, do well to actually revisit it, because it will be necessary. The file hierarchy system navigation will be necessary throughout the course that we'll be doing, or throughout the Linux. You will often use them. So if I am making directory, for instance, there is a directory called analyst, and I'm making a directory inside the analyst. Of course, it is easier to just say make directory and the name of the directory I want to make. But what if, assuming I want to make a directory that is inside a directory, that directory is a directory inside the analyst directory, and another directory that is inside that directory. So that means I have to go lower levels. So without actually changing my path, I can simply stay wherever I am and then use what we call either the absolute or the relative path, and then make my directory. So I can easily say make directory /logs/ this. So then with the name of the new directory. So it's obvious that you have to know the absolute path for you to be able to properly make a directory or remove a directory. And then when you are removing a directory and making a directory, for you to be able to know if actually that thing works, you have to list to the place. That means use LOS to list the directories that are already existing. So when we release them, if it shows you that that directory that you made is there, that means it was done successfully. But if you leaked and you didn't see, that's to actually say that it hasn't been created, or invariably you created it is a wrong directory where you are trying to list is not the actual directory where you created that particular file. So for either the make directory or the remove directory, those are the two commands for creating and modifying directories. So that's folders, as it is called in Windows. So you use LOS to confirm. There is something I want you to take cognizance of, which is I said remove directory removes an empty directory. What if a directory has something in it? When something said is an empty, that means that directory doesn't contain anything. So, but when you want to remove a directory that contains certain files and other directories inside, then we have to use the option in remove. Option simply means, when we talk about option, know that we are talking about the command combined with a hyphen and the option. That means remove directory is the command. Then we have to put a hyphen and then R. That R means recursive. That R would say it, remove this directory and everything that is what in it. So if a directory is not empty directory, you have to use the R option, that's the hyphen R option, to be able to remove that directory. And it will also remove all the things that are in that directory. But if it's an empty directory, you just have to use the command remove directory and the name of the directory that you want to remove. Are we all on the same page? If that's so, can I get a thumbs up? If not, can you raise up your hand to express your concern? All right, thank you. So another thing we want to talk about is creating and modifying files. How do we create files? How do we modify? How do we change files? How do we be able to update something? One of the commands to make an empty file is the touch command. Touch and the name of the file. So if I want to create a file that has stellar.txt, I will just simply say touch stellar.txt. Remember where you are currently. When you use this command directly, that is where that file will be created. If you want it to be created somewhere else, you have to specify the path through which you want that file to be created. So if I want that file to be created inside a folder, Judith folder, and the place I'm currently in is not Judith folder, but the Judith is a subdirectory inside the place I'm currently in. What I simply have to do is called touch Judith slash what stellar.txt. So that's trying to tell you I want to create a file inside the stellar directory, which is a directory directly below the current directory I am in. So you can also specify absolute. If you are not good with relative path, you can start from the root home slash this till you read the particular directory and then the file name that you want to create. So touch is the command for creating an empty file. So if you want to remove the file, you just have to add ROM and the name of the file, or you specify the actual directory to get to the file. If it's not a file that is currently in the directory where you are performing the action, so you specify explicitly the place to locate and remove that particular file. So remove file is by the command ROM and then the path and the name of the file, or if you are currently on the directory where the file is located, then you just have to say ROM the file name. So we can easily delete if stellar is a file in the current working directory where we are. We can say ROM stellar.txt and it will remove it. Remember stellar.txt, we also have other things like PDF. So those are also part of the file that we talk about. You can delete them as well with the ROM. So MV is move or rename a file or a directory. So for us to move or rename a file, so we can just say MV, the name of the file, and then the new name of the file. That's the old name of the file we want to rename, and the name we want to rename it to. So that is MV, the current file, and the name we want to rename. So we can say if we want to rename stellar.txt to judith.txt, we can easily say MV stellar.txt, then judith.txt. So that's the very way to do that when we come to renaming. Then also it is used for moving. When we want to move stellar.txt somewhere else, we can still simply say stellar. If stellar is the current, if stellar file is where we are currently, we don't need to start specifying the absolute path. We simply have to say mv stellar.txt. Then we specify the directories or the pathway through which you want to move the stellar.txt. So it is move depending on where you are. If you are not currently on the directory where stellar.txt is, you have to specify how to locate stellar.txt and then specify also the pathway through which you want to move stellar.txt. That's about the MV. CP is just to copy a file or a directory. So you can copy a file without actually moving it. The same way also applies with what we said with regards to move. CP, the pathway or the name of the file, depending where you are, then the place you want to copy it to, and it will invariably do that for you. So these are the commands for creating and modifying files. Are we all on the same page? If that's so, can I get a thumbs up? If not, can somebody raise up their hands to express their concern? All right, so we move on. So what about when we want to type in, the way you type in Microsoft Word, you still want to type also some certain documents in your command line. There are so many text editors for that, but the one that I will be using within the course is just Nano. We have other ones like Vim and Emacs. So whichever one, as I said, these are just applications to enable you to do what you want to do. So Nano is an application. So when we want to open a particular file, and we are currently in the directory where that file is resident on, we just simply have to employ the application we are using. So Nano most times is the popular one. You can still install Vim, Emacs. They are also nice. They all have different coloring and texture and look, but they also have the same functions. So that is to edit your text. So if you want to open a particular file, we just simply have to use Nano, the file name, if you are currently on the directory where that file is residented. Then once you are done doing whatever we are doing in the file, doing the editing and putting in there, we can simply say press Ctrl O to save what we have done, and then Ctrl S to exit the environment. Because once you use Nano, your application opens up the textual document for you. Now start typing and bringing in every other thing that you want to do inside that document. Once you are done, press Ctrl O to save the thing that you have done, and then exit with Ctrl Z X. Are we all on the same page? If that's so, can I get a thumbs up? All right, Rothias.
Good evening, Mr. Michael. Please,
Yeah.
I just want to get something right. To delete a non-empty directory, what was the command you said we are going to use for it?
It's the same command, just you have to add the arrow option, that's -R.
-R.
Yes.
Okay. As in R
R.
R
R.
as in RM, then DIR, then -R
Yes,
again.
but remember all these things are space too, because ROM, DIR, then space -R, then the file you want to, or the
The
folder you
file
want to.
name, the directory, the folder name, isn't it?
Yes, the folder name. But you will specify the paths. If you are not currently on the folder where that thing is located, you specify explicitly either using absolute paths or using relative paths to specify. If you are not,
But if okay. But if you are in that part, you don't need to specify.
you don't need to specify. You just, if that directory you want to remove is currently on the working directory where you are, you just have to say remove R, the name of the file, you can remove it. But if you are not currently on that place, you have to specify where are you removing from.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. So,
I
so I want to talk about this thing. I know that we have done this in our previous classes. So the aspect of using this standard output redirection, that means I want to use the output of something else and I will filter it so that when it will print that thing on my screen, it will print that filter that I want. That means using the pipe command, whereby the output of one command is serving as the input that another command we use to work with, and then that will give us the final output we are looking for. That is what we talk about when we say standard output redirection. So oftentimes we don't want to print something to the screen. We don't want to print something to the screen. So whatever we want to do with that output is what we call redirection. So when you don't want to print to the screen directly, you want to use it to fuse into another command to take it as an input. And then that command will bring out the output. That's what we call standard output redirection. For instance, we want to do LOS. And we don't want that LOS to list everything out for us. We will use that LOS as an input, then to use grep command, that's the pipe, which is use the output of this, then filter it and give me the only thing that I want as a filter in the output. So that's what we call the times whereby we don't print directly to the screen. We use the output that's supposed to be printed to the screen to use it as an input for another command. And then that another command will work on it and give us, based on that command, its own output using the input of which is supposed to be the output of the previous command. So I've used an instance of the grep command, how it is used in combination when we want to filter out something that we don't really want everything to be outputted for us. So when such case or scenario is referred to as a standard output redirection. So one of them is this greater than sign that enables us that we can actually, instead of printing a particular thing, we can put it inside a file. You can put it inside a file. For instance, I can say echo Michael. So I don't want that echo Michael to come out on the screen. I can easily say echo Michael. Then I will use the greater sign and then put it into a file, file.txt. So even though that file is not existing, it will create it automatically. So that means I'm redirecting something that's supposed to come out on my screen to create a file, to create a content inside a file. So when we use it, just know that whenever you are using this, be careful. If you are using the send output, that's the greater than, anything you want that should have been printed out on the screen, you are now redirecting it to create a file. If that file is an already existing file, if you use the greater than, one greater than, it will replace everything in that file. But if the file is not an existing file, it will create a new file. Then, but when you use the double greater than, it will just it will update the content that is on that file instead of replacing it totally. Just know the difference between these two redirections. One of them will send in something and replace everything in it. The other one will just do what? Will not overwrite. It will come below under the line of the file. So who is raising up their hand? You can say something.
Good
Stephanie.
evening, sir. Yes,
Good evening.
please can you explain the double greater than sign again?
All right, so I'm just assuming that you have a file that you have created. You have a file that you have created. And then you want to kind of something that was you wanted to be printed on a screen. You don't want it to be printed. You want to direct it inside that file. When you use the one greater than, it will replace everything in that file. It will replace everything. It's saying overwrite everything in the file. But when you use the double greater than, it will just come. All the content that are in the file will remain the same. It will just come to the next line and put that particular thing that you want to redirect into. So it's just like it is updating the file. It is not overwriting. So that's the simplest context I will just have to talk about it. All right. So is there any other thing? So of course we have known the pipe command. The pipe command is when we just want to use it to what? To bring in two different commands, whereby one of these commands is the output. Another one is taking it as an input too. So the way I've also showed you that if instead of listing everything, I want to use that listing that should have been done as the output of a command, then we'll what? I would now be able to use a filter, that is grep, so that it will just give me the output that's supposed to come as a whole output. Will just give me the particular thing I want to filter out from that output. So that's why the pipe command is pipe output of one command to another. So that's how we use it. So oftentimes you want to use the output of one command as an input to utilize for another command. So easily, instead of doing that, you just have to use the pipe command, whereby two commands can work together, whereby the one serves as the input of the other. So invariably, I've showed you an example. LOS, you don't want that thing to print all the directories which are in that folder. You now have to pipe it to what? Pipe it to something and say, okay, grep, only give me the directories that have so names in it. So grep or give me. So it will only bring out that. So that is about the standard output redirecting. We have the greater than, we have the two double greater than, then we have the pipe command. And That's how it works. Are you all with me on this? If you are, can you get a thumbs up? If not, can you raise up your hand to express your concern? Just praise. Should you all go? All right, Stephanie.
Mr. Michael, this pipe command,
Yes.
does it always go with grep, or you
No,
can actually?
you can go with any document, any command.
Okay.
You can go with
Okay.
any
Thank you.
command, but you just have to know what command you want to now use this for. Since you know that it takes the output of one thing and then does an action on that output before it does what? It brings it to our output. Why these redirections? This greater than, it just kind of points something that should have been printed in a screen. It takes it into somewhere. Why this one? Something that should have been printed on a screen. It is used as an input for another command. That's the pipe. This one's kind of, you will not even see the output on the screen. But this one, you will see the output, just that it is using, or it is being used as an input for another command that will actually do the real thing, work on it, and then give us an output. So that are the three things I'm talking about. So is there any issue? Any issue? Can we move on? If we can move on, can I get a thumbs up? All right, thank you. So we want to talk about permissions. Permissions. So what are the permissions? Oftentimes you have seen me talk about least privilege. That means giving people the required permission that they need to do the task that is assigned to them. So if somebody doesn't have a right to view a document, they shouldn't have that right to view that document. If somebody doesn't have a right to edit a document, you shouldn't give them that permission, remove them totally from a document. So the simplest context I want to use to explain this, for most of you who are using Google Drive, there is a time you ask somebody, you add somebody as a collaborator, you give them editor right, you give them viewer right, you give them owner right. So when you give them viewer right, that is to say they can just view the file, they cannot edit it. When you give them an editor right, that means they can edit the file and also view the file. Then when you give them, what is it called again? Then you give them owner's right, that means they can not just edit, they can also delete the file. So that is the kind of permission we talk about. So with regards to every file on the Linux operating system, they have permissions. And these are the three permissions. Either someone can read a file, that's view the file. They can write into a file, they can modify the file or a directory, whichever one. Then they can execute, that means run, delete, run if it's an application, install if that file is an application, they can install it, they can uninstall it, and they can remove. That's what execute simply means. So these are the three main permissions that is given when it comes to every file or anything that is existing as a resource on the on the Linux operating system. So these are the three forms of permission that we can give. And who are these permissions given onto? They are given onto owners, and these owners are classified into three. These owners are classified into three. That is user, the actual person that has all the right that created the file or created the resource that we have been talking about in the, that's the first person. Then that's the first person who is the actual person that created the file. Then we have the group. That is the group where the user belongs to. So if he's an analyst, of course, that person belongs to an analyst group. These are the second kind of owners to the file. They are the group based on the person that created the file, where they belong to. If the person belongs to engineering, of course, that will be the engineering group. So depending on where you are in an organization, where you are functioning, you are assigned a group. So others is any other person that doesn't belong to the group in that organization. It can be the person in the customer care service. So every file permission is given, read, write, execute, is given to the user. You can determine if this particular person that created the file will read this file, write this file, or execute it. Also for the group that the person will belong to, you will determine whether they will read this file, write this file, or execute into the file or a direct. Then for others in the organization, you also determine if they will read, write, or execute. So these are the 3 permissions that can be given to these 3 owners of a particular file or a resource. So for 3 of these permissions, you can either give all to one or remove some, give all to one or remove some, give all to one or remove. So it's up to your priority depending on your effort towards whatever you are trying to do, on who to give and who to remove permission from. So as you can see, these are the permissions and these are the owners that these permissions can be levied on. So are we all on the same page on this? If so, can I move forward? If not, can you raise up your hand to express your concern? Is it like you guys are understanding very, very well today? It's okay. Let's move forward. So how can we be able to view a permission? There are commands to view a particular permission that are entangled with a file or a directory. So for us to view, we just simply get to the particular folder where the permission you want to see pertaining to the file that are stored in that folders or the folders that are stored in that particular directory we are in. To view their permission, we simply have to enter the command los option L, that is -L. This will show us all the 5 permissions that are and for the user, for the owner, and for the user, for the group, and for the others. Those are the owners. You show us the permission each one of them have. That means the user, the creator of the file, the group the person belongs to, and then the other people on the. So when we type in this command, it will show you every directory or files in that particular directory where you are, the permissions of each of those directories, who is having what and what. So, but what, there is something that we call hidden files. So hidden files is with regards to when we type LOS option A, that is -A, it shows us hidden files. But if you want to see a combination of all the files, they are what we call hidden files. And hidden files are files you don't want any regular person to see, so you hide them. But for you to unhide them and see the permissions pertaining to them, we have to use a combination of LOS-LOA. LOS without the L, we just give you the hidden files and it will not tell you the permission. But for you to see the hidden files and its permissions and every other file, both unhidden and everything, you have to use a combination of LOS-LOA. That is trying to say it will list the permission for every file, both hidden and unhidden files, and tell us about them and what permission every person have pertaining to it. Are we on the same page on this? All right, Stephanie.
Okay, so what you mean is the LSLA can do the function of both LSL and LSA.
What LOSL does for us is to show us permission of the files that are not hidden. The files that are not hidden, that's what LOSL does for us. Show us permissions of the files that are not hidden. That's the files that are visible. LOSA just tells us about the hidden files. It doesn't say anything about permission. It just shows us the hidden file. Then a combination of LOS-LOA will tell us both the permission for files that are hidden and the files that are unhidden. Did you get that now?
It does the same thing now. Since LSLA will show us the hidden files with their file permission, it's still the same thing as showing us the first one, which is LSL, showing us just file permission of unhidden files, and LSA showing us hidden files. So I think the combination LSLA does the both job.
Yes, but the difference is that LOS-A will not show you anything about permission. It will just show you hidden files. The same way we list files. We list the known file. Okay, when you use LOS without any option, it will just list for you the files, right?
Yeah.
Then when you use LOS with option A, it will list for you the files that are hidden. Both the files that are hidden. Yeah, the files that are hidden, that's what it will list for you. Then when you are trying to know their permissions, you just have to combine what LOS, which is displaying for us the permissions of unhidden files. Then A will now help us to get the also permission for the hidden files. So that is what I'm trying to say. So if you just use LOS-A, you will not get any permission. You will just get only the hidden files listing. Are you getting what I'm saying, Stephanie?
Yes, sir. Yes, I got you. Thank you.
All right. So is there any other person? Is people asking questions? All right, praise.
Okay, sir. I just wanted to ask, what's the command for to hide the file? What command do we need to hide the file?
What command do you use to hide a file? It
Yes,
is
sir.
when you are it is when you are creating a file that you hide a file. You just simply have to put dot in front of that file.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Are you getting what I'm saying? Just put a dot in front of the file that you are trying to hide. Is there any other person that is raising up their hand? Is who is asking a question? Huh? There are people that are asking questions in the comment section. You can open up your mic. Right.
Okay, I've asked one of the questions. Then the other one is about topic.
All right. Sorry. I made a mistake. What is that? The question you asked is to hide the file, not to see what is hidden in a file, right?
Yes, to hide the
All right.
file.
Hidden files, when you display them, they will have dots, like they will have dots in front of the files. Are you getting what I'm saying? But if you want to hide a particular file, are you with me? If you want to
Yes.
hide a particular file, you just have to use the directory. That's the hyphen h. That is what is used to hide a particular file. When you use
Oh,
the plus, when you use the plus h, I get what I'm saying. With the
yes.
particular file, it will hide it. When you use the minus h, it will unhide it. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if I want to hide a particular file, I just have to, when I'm creating the file, attach the h hyphen. I get what I'm saying. But if I still want to remove it from that hiding, I'll just have to attach the minus head to that file. So I'll remove it from hiding. Did you get that?
Yes. So, the
No, sir.
command, then plus. We are going to put plus, not hyphen or plus here.
Yeah.
Okay. Then to hide it, hyphen h.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Please, Mr. Michael, I didn't get this thing you said very well. What was the command to hide a file or a directory?
What did you say? We'll
I didn't
practice.
get the last command you said now. So hide a file. I didn't get a command.
I said every hidden file, are you getting me, is indicated by the dot in front of that file. So for instance, when we do LOS
Yes.
hyphen A, when that file is displayed, how we know the hidden ones is that they will have dot in front of it.
Yes.
But when you are to hide a file on a directory, okay, for particular Linux, are you getting what I'm saying? For this Linux that we are in,
Yes.
the one that I said on appending a dot is applicable. But when you go to, let me just, how do I even say this? Let me not confuse anybody here. All right, look at everything we are doing is a command line thing. Are you getting me? Command line differs, command line of Linux differs, command line of Windows differs. Are you getting what I'm saying? But if you want
Yes.
to do this thing in Linux operating, the only way to hide a file or a directory from a terminal, as this person asked me, and I told her something on Windows now. And this person asked me is to give the dot command at the beginning of that file. That's the right thing for a Linux operating system. This one that we are doing. So that is invariably, let me correct myself because these things can be confusing. Sometimes you are working on PowerShell and sometimes you are working on Windows command line, and then you can confuse the both. So the only thing is hidden file has dot to it. So for you to also create a file that is hidden in Linux, you also have to append a dot to the beginning of the file. That is if you are on the Linux command line. That is the right thing to do. Appending dot at the file name is the right thing to do. Are
Okay.
you with me? So, but if you
Yes.
are in some other place that is not Linux, it's simply something like Windows. You know, you have command line in Windows, command prompt. Eh?
Yes.
That is where
Yes,
this one that I told her earlier is applicable. So let me not confuse or the both. So that's why the one that I told her, I use the plus head and minus head. But for the Linux operating system, simply attach a dot. That's the easiest way to hide a particular file. So in front of the file, if I'm to do this thing, create a file that is called rofiat.txt. What I simply have to do is touch is the command for creating a file, right? So touch
yes.
dot rofiat.txt. So that dot in front is trying to tell them that I am hiding this file, this particular file, from being visible to
Okay.
the ideal user. So please pardon me for that, for the confusion. What was that her name? Peace. Is
Sir,
it Peace? Uh,
is
Praise. Sorry, pardon me for that thing. So the one that I
Thanks for the
said,
clarification.
you said.
I said thanks for the clarification.
All right, thank you. So we'll still try out some of this thing. Please, when we get to the command lines, please remind me so that we'll try them out. So the way that you know hidden files is that when you press LOS, they will not come out. When you press the normal LOS, hidden files will not come out until you use LOS option A. The hidden file will come out. Even when you want to check for their permission and press LOSL, hidden files. This. If you are all with me on this, you can move forward. So can I get a thumbs up if that's it? There are some people asking questions on the comment. Please, you can always use the mic because at times I will not have. Is there any specific file that should be hidden? What is the Linux command to hide files? I've already answered. So you at times don't want files to be known by your friends. Many of your friends that are not technical, you want to hide something from your computer. They use your computer, and there are some certain things you are. I'm not saying for people that are doing bad things. I'm just like saying for people who have good reasons for hiding things. But if you are doing bad things, this one is not for you. They will see that bad thing that you are doing so that they will help you so that you get out from it. I'm talking about for people who are doing it for the good reason. Maybe you have credentials that you don't want people to see. Maybe those ones are obtainable. But if you are watching things that you are not meant to watch, or you are looking at things you are not meant to look at, of course, I pray that they will catch you so that they will see. So you don't have fights with that one. So they will help you to come out from whatever that you are doing. But for these particular things, you're hiding it for the right reasons. Of course, you will use that particular thing. That's why we hide files when we don't want people to see important credentials. Maybe your company's things, login details, you can hide it so that only you will be able to see such a thing rather than any other person. It takes somebody that is technical to be able to see something like this. It's, of course, when they get to the Linux command line. All right, are we all on the same page? If that's so, can I get a thumbs up? If not, can we move forward? Sorry, if not, can somebody raise up their hands to express their cause? Okay, so let's see this thing. Let's look at this image. Let's look at this image. So when you type out LOS, LOA, or LOSL, this is what displays. This this thing that you are seeing I'm showing here is what really displays. This this DROWSSSS, this thing. This is 10 character things that is able to specify for us what permission each user has, each owner of a file has. And I told you the owners of the file are three: the user, the group, which is the group the user belongs to, and then any other person in the Linux operating system. That means you, as a person that is an analyst, you can belong to an analyst group, even though your name might be Rofia Praise. You can belong, they will give you assigned to a particular department. That department you're assigned to is your group. Then any other person in the company is other user, that's other owner. So when we press the LOS command L or LOS LOA, it will bring us this thing, these 10 characters to each file that we have on our system. And what are the meaning? The first character here is either a D or a hyphen. So if it's a directory, it will have a D. If it's a file, it will have a hyphen. So the first character of the permission that are specified. If the first character is a D, it's telling you that the resource you are talking about is a directory. That means it's a folder. But if it's a file, it will have a hyphen. The second, third, fourth character, that's ROWS, as you can see here. ROWS, as you can see here, is the permission for the for the user of the file. That's the person that created the file or the directory. That's the permission given to the person that is the creator. That's the person called the user. The other three that follow suit is for the group permissions. And the last remaining three characters is for any other person in the system, the permission that is given to us there. So that is the simplest way of summarizing this permission thing of characters. So the first one tells you whether it is a directory or a file. A minute, please. So the first character tells you whether it is directory or a file. If it's a directory, you will see the D as the first character. If it's a file, you will just see a hyphen. So the first three characters that follow suit is to tell us the permissions that the creator of the file, which is referred to as the user, have. Then the next three is the permission the group the user belongs to. And the last three is the permission of any other person on the system. And as you are clearly seeing, anywhere you don't see that permission and it is replaced by hyphen, that is to tell given to that particular person of that sort. So if, for instance, you come to this place, arrow is supposed to be, and you see hyphen, that is to tell you that no read permission is given to this particular user. That's if it's a user. If it's a group, no particular read permission is given to this group. So anywhere you're supposed to see a permission, this is the first one shows us the full permissions for a directory or a folder. So anywhere you are seeing them replaced by hyphen, that is to tell you such a permission was not given to that particular owner. And I told you owners are 3 in numbers and how they are specified and grouped based on this permission. As you can see, if you're able to follow through, you can see the first one has directory for directory, D for directory, minus for regular file. The first one is telling us that the owner of the file has a read permission. The owner of the user of the file, which is the creator, has a read permission, write permission, and execute permission. So, but if any of this is replaced by a hyphen, just know that that one is not given as a permission. Are we all clear on that? Are we all clear on that? All right, thank you. So how can we be able to change permissions? That is why I first of all talked about that permission of a thing, how it's given. Is we use a permission, you use a command called cmod. Cmod, that's to modify file and directory permission. So for any file you want to modify their permission, we just have to use command. So how do we use command? Of course, you have to know the users that are in a system. The users that are in a system are what? Owners of in a system are what? Users. And users is replaced with what? You. So anywhere you see, you know that it's being talked about as the user, the owner, the creator of the what? File. Anywhere you see G, it is representing group. Anywhere you see O, it is representing others. So others. So when we want to change a particular permission of a file, as you can see in the example 1, we just have to bring in the command keymod. Then we now talk about the particular person we want to give permission to, which is what? You, the user. And when we see plus, we are knowing that we are giving permission. When you see minus, you know you are removing what? Permission. So when we give plus, we are saying that we are giving read, write, and execute permission to the what? The user, the creator of the file. Then comma, you have seen G, which is the group. We are removing read, write, and execute from the what? Group that this user belongs to. Then comma, you now see owner. We are giving what? Read, write, execute permission for the what? Others, sorry, for the others in the system. For the file name.txt. Remember this file name.txt, if you are not directly on the particular folder working directory where this file name.txt is, it will not work. It's only when you are in directly. If you are not directly, just specify the absolute or relative part where you want to specify or give the file where you want to give this permission. As you can see, this is just quite easier if you follow it in the way that permissions are just 3. And this permission can either be given to a user, a group, or others in a system. So you know that if you don't want to give to the user, there is no need specifying it in your command. There is no need specifying it. You can just remove it. So whenever they say you to give a permission, ask them, who am I giving permission to? If they tell you the group, there is no need specifying permission for the users or for the others in a system. Just simply say command group. Either it is a plus or a minus. If they tell you to give plus for read, just give for read plus read. You don't need to specify everything. If they tell you just for read, just do for arrow. Minus R is remove read permission. Plus R means give read permission. So everything mustn't be there. It all depends on what they told you to do. If they tell you to remove read and write, just say G minus read and write. Don't come and be putting execute. They didn't tell you to remove execute. So if they tell you to give all permission, that's when you write them out. If they tell you just the user, just focus on the user. Don't mind about the group or the others. So that's to tell you that all these commands are not explicitly written out. It all depends on the one that you want to do. If you want to give to the reader, if you want to remove permission, just specify that particular thing and for the particular file that you want to give. As you can see in this example too, I said modified or change permission for this word. User equals to R. Give the user the read permission. Only the read permission. Group, give it the read permission. O, that is others, give it the read permission. File.txt. So you can either use the above, the one of the plus and minus, or if you are sure of just one command like this, you can use. So any of the two can work. Either you use the equals to or you use it. But the only thing about the plus and minus, it gives you ability to add other permission like read, write, X. But you cannot do so with the user. The equals to just goes with one character. That is the only. So if they just tell you give read permission, you can use the equals to give write permission. But if they tell you more than one character, please try to use the example one. That's the plus and minus of everything. So it gives you more functionality to add other permission. So are we all on the same page? It seems like it's only praise that is understanding this class. Jacqueline? All right, thank you. Jacqueline, I am seeing your
I
hand.
had this. I've seen some in some places. They say change mode and then some values like 700, then to the file name. I was kindly requesting if you could explain a little bit about that, where they use numbers instead of RWX.
Okay. All right. So that I hope that that one will not confuse you all now at this point. I hope that it will not confuse you all. All right. I hope that will not cause confusion at the moment. That's just what I'm avoiding, bringing in that code. That's why I just simply have to use this read, write, and F. So these things can be done in form of the binary form of it. That's 7, 6, 4, others 5, and every other thing. So it can be done that way. So let me explain that. Giving permissions with numbers, right? That's what you are asking now.
Yes, permissions where they use numbers.
Permissions where they use numbers, right? So look at it. Look at it this way. All right. Look at it this way. You will clearly, what's it called? You will clearly use the nine of those things. That's the 8 of them. Sorry, the 8 of the 9. Yeah, 9 permissions. Those are the next permission for the owner group and user group and others. So those are the those are the 4 of them or the 6 of them in a particular continuous order. All of them will be that way. So when we try to use numbers, you are specifying which number we are using to talk about that. So I don't know how best should I explain it so it will not confuse you the more. Okay, let me. This will now result to us going to binary. Going to binary. Oh, going to binary. How are we going to do this? Jacqueline, Jacqueline, I don't know. I don't know. Is this something you want us to be doing now? Because I don't want to just confuse the
You
whole.
can explain later, but don't forget, because I've seen it in some case and I wonder how they arrive at that. But the way you have explained right now is better, as in is well understood.
Okay, all right. There is no problem. Are you guys concerned about it? Because it's a little bit of things of using numbers. Are we good to do this now? That's what I'm saying. It's not really on my slide, but I know that I was just doing it so as to lay the basic foundation for you all to try. So that when it gets to that point, you will still understand that this is how it is done. So if that thing is done that way, you see some numbers like 7, 6, 4. So it's just within 0 to 7. That's what that thing is. It's just within 0 to 7. So whereby we know that when 7 is specified, it means all of the permission was given to the particular thing. When 6 is specified, we simply know that it's not all of the permission was given, it's just the read write and other thing. When 5 is specified, we also know that it was not this and this. So the perfect way to do that is this. Jacqueline, I don't know, do you have a book there? If you have a book,
I don't have a book here,
all right. So I
but
just wanted you
I
to,
saw in some
I just wanted to tell you,
assignments.
I just wanted to tell you how that thing works. That's why I told you if you have a book. All right. There are 3 characters for permissions. There are 3 characters. There are 3 characters for permission. All right. There are 3 characters for permission.
You
So
mean a book to write the notes?
yes, yes. So
Yes, I do have. You can
okay.
explain.
Okay. The first one, you write 0, 0, 0. Are you with me? 0, 0, 0.
Yes.
The second one, 0, 0, 1.
Okay.
0, 1, 1.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, that's I'm doing binary. That's what I'm doing. One in binary means 0, 0, 0. Eh? 1 in binary means 0, 0, 0. That's for 3 characters. We are using the read write X. That's what I mean. Read write X. We want to discover what those numbers are meaning. So the first one is 1. We will express 1 in 3 characters. That is 1 means 0, 0, 1. 2, that is 2, which is a decimal in binary is 0. Sorry, the 0 is 0, 0, 0. 1 in binary is 0, 0, 1. 2 in binary is 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 0. Sorry, 0, 1, 0. Then 3 in binary is 0, 1, 1. Are you with me? Are you following me through? 4
Yes.
is 1, 0, 0. 5 is what? 1, 0, 1. 6 is what?
110
1,
10
1, 1, 0. 7 is what?
111.
1, 1, 1. All right, those are 8 in number. If you count it from 0 to 7 is 8 in number, right?
Yes.
All right, hold on, hold the knowledge there. So if they tell you that, 7, if they tell you 7, what does it mean in binary? If they tell you 7, it means 1, 1, 1, right?
Okay. Yes.
So that means it has what? 1, 1, 1 simply means true, true, true. That means it has read, write, and execute.
Okay.
If they tell you 6, what does it mean? 1, 1, 0. That means it means what? Read, write, and
Right.
no
No
execute.
execute. Yeah.
If they tell you 5, what do they mean? 5 is what? 1, 0, 1. It means it has read, no write, and what? Execute. So are you seeing where that thing is coming from?
Yes, yes, I've seen.
All right. I don't know. I hope I didn't confuse those that we are lost at in trying to know where we are getting that. But that's not part of. It's okay for you to learn this one. I know that that thing can be confusing, but that's it. So if somebody try to tell you 777, they are actually telling you that all the groups will have read write
User
execute, read write execute. So if they tell you 776, they are telling you the user we have read, write, execute. The group we have read, write, execute. And the last one, which is other
and the
user, will have
only
read, write, and no
read.
execute. So are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Jacqueline, are you clear?
Yeah, thank you, sir. At least I've understood. I normally
All right.
get confused.
All right, so that's it. That's how I do it. The easiest way, I convert to binary, then use whatever it is to mark. So wherever I see zero, I know that there is no permission, and wherever I see one, I know
That's
that
this
permission
one.
is.
Yeah.
So that's it. That one have taken our time, but it's still for all the betterment of whatever we are doing. Please, people should just pray so that light will come on my end. I need light now to further whatever I will be doing in this class. All right, so let's move forward if that's okay. So look at what I was trying to say about the user group owner thing. You can see it declares the change that is made. This is a table that summarizes everything I was saying. Plus adds permission to the user group, minus removes permission, equals to assigns permission for the user or group. So these are the characters explained in an English way that you can better understand it. You can read through it. I think that's self-explanatory for everything that I'll be explaining here. Okay, so are we on the same page? Can we move forward? If that's so, can I get a thumbs up? If not, can you express your concern?
Okay, sir, I have a question. You said
Yeah.
plus adds permission to the user group or others, then equal to, if that's what I'm saying clearly, equal to assigns permission for the user group or others. Please, what's the difference?
All right, as I said, when you are dealing with just one character, just use the equals to. That means somebody just say assign right permission to someone. It's a group equals to right permission. Assign this to. So you are just assigning. But when you are dealing with most of those two to three, you want to assign read write or read write is it could just invariably use the minus and plus. And then when you assign equals to just give the permission. It doesn't remove the permission. I don't know what I'm saying. So it gives the permission, it doesn't remove the permission. So just be careful that you can be able to use equals to just where you just want to assign a permission to a one character permission. That's a one character either read or write or execute. But when you want to remove, you have to use the minus. And then when you want to add more than just not one permission now, but more permission, you can use the plus. So equals to just to assign. It doesn't do any other thing more than that, and it doesn't do more than one character. Does I explain it for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So can we proceed? We have two practicals today, and I'm looking at my battery, but God will help us. Okay, so that's on that. So, but if you understand this, I think. So let's do a little bit of class exercise. As a security analyst, you may encounter a situation like this. There is a file called bonuses.txt. Please, so you guys, that even reminds me, I was asking Jacqueline whether she came with pen and paper. So you guys don't write in my class. Oh, because I didn't make it something that is obvious for you to be doing. So you don't write in my class. You
Sir,
just
we
came
do
and
right.
here
We used to write.
and here story
We
tell.
used to
Most things
write.
that are in my slide, though, if you don't write, you will not understand it. My slide is just to help me to be able to navigate through the lecture. Like this thing,
The rap-
Jacqueline asked, like this thing Jacqueline asks now is not in my slide though. So for somebody that is looking off to learn through the slide, it will invariably miss out. So, but anyway, that's it. I know that you're right. So look at the scenario that will. So just get your pen and paper, help you to be able to properly analyze what we are trying to do. They said as a security analyst, you may encounter a situation like this one. there is a file called bonuses.txt within a compensation directory. The owner of this file is a member of the Human Resources Department with a username of HRP1. It has been decided that HRP1 needs access to this file. So here we are getting that there is a file, and this file, the owner is a member of a Human Resources, and the username is HR. It has been decided that needs access, that there is a particular user that needs access to this, and this particular user. All right. But since the file contains confidential information, no one else in the HR group needs access. So no one else in the HR group needs access, but we want to give access to this particular user. You run the LOSL, which gives us permission to check the permission of the file in the compensation directory and discover that the permission for bonus.txt are this. The group owner type has read and write permission that do not align with the principle of the least privilege. So when we discovered these people in the human resource are not meant to have access to this. So they are not meant to have access to, the group are not meant to have access to this. So if you read this, how can we remedy the situation? So read this, understand this, give me what I need. I know that it's very obvious that what are we to do? Because from the analysis, they have told you something. The first of all, the owner of this file is HRP1. And this file belongs to the group that is called Human Resources. And they have access to the file. That means the person, the HRP1, has access to the file. And it is a confidential information. And they don't want any other person that belongs to the HR group to have access to the file. But when we are able to check the permissions on this particular file in question, we discovered that this is the permission here, arrow dash arrow w dash arrow w dash data. So the group owner type has read and write permission that do not align with the principle of least privilege. The group owner, the group have access, but they said this is a confidential. That is only the HR rep one should only have access. No other person should. But now we discover that the group have access. How can we remedy the situation? So I'm waiting. I think this is the only thing we might, even if you don't do the practical, this is what the practical. Let's crack our brain. It's a simple thing, though, sure. Okay. Stephanie said, group, remove permission, read, write, execute. But I don't agree with that, though. I don't agree. Because the only thing that the permission we are just seeing there that was given to the group illegally was the read and write. So if you type out that command, I don't know what you are trying to do, though. Even though it will work, but I know that's not what I really
This
need.
was a
So,
fraud.
so who is going to explicitly tell us, you can take the mic, what you think that should be done? What you think that could be done, and then the command for doing it. If you read the class exercise, you can be able to decipher it. So I'm waiting on you guys based on what we have learned so far, based on all the things that I've been explaining. Even if you don't know the command, tell me what you would do, because they said you have given us a scenario. How do we remedy the situation? So I'm waiting as much as we can wait. I'm waiting. Anyone can talk.
Hello. Can
All
I
right.
say something?
Go
I
ahead.
believe you just say CHMOD, then
I'm
group.
not saying the command now. What should we do? What should we do
You just
in
remove the permission for the group. The
which
read and the write
permission?
permission. The read
Which
and the
group
write
are we
permission.
which group are we removing it from?
That is the Human Resources Department.
All right, so we'll remove the group for the human resources. So somebody else was raising up their hand. That's okay. Who else is raising up their hand? Do you have something contrary to what Ruthie had said? Do you agree? Karim, Damilola, Karim, Felicia, anyone can talk?
I think we should allow the owner to retain the access.
Okay. And then do what?
And remove
Okay, you are adding to
unnecessary.
what Rofi had said.
Yes.
All right. Okay, that's okay as well. All right. So we don't need to make any changes to the user because owners are three. I said owners are users, group, and others. So Esther, you can say something. Esther, you can say something.
I agree with what she said. I feel like there's no point in it.
You say what? All right, Felicia, you can say something.
Okay, we can remove the read, write, and execute from the bonuses of the HR team altogether, and then grant access for the HR rep 1.
But there is no execute access for the HR group. So why are we removing execute? There is no dash represent no execute. If this is enough thing for us to crack through this now, we can leave the practical and do it tomorrow and reinforce what we have done. All right. So, but if God have mercy, these people, I don't even know why. So, first of all, Karim Damilola, do you still want to say something?
Yes, I think we should like allow the HR rep 1 to retain like the read and write access. Then we should grant the HR rep like the new like as a new user the read and write access. Then we should remove unnecessary read and write access. Then restrict the access to only HR1 and the new HR.
Okay. That is not really what we are looking for, but it's still okay. Nice attempt. Victoria. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. So the user is going to have to modify the read and the write access because he's the owner, like
Yeah.
he's the user.
Okay.
Then for
Go ahead.
the group and the other users, I think since they are not supposed to have access to it, I don't know if they should have only the read access or if they should remove like the read and write for it.
All right. You guys have said enough. Let me say something. Let's read through this one by one. As a security analyst, you encounter a situation like this. There is a file called bonuses.txt. That's the file with a compensation directory. The owner of this file is the member of the human resource. That means the owner of the file is what? User. That means he's a user. Owners are three in numbers. We have the user, we have the group, we have the others. So the particular person in question that I've been talking about is the user, the creator of the file that is represented with the U. So, and it belongs to the word human resources, and human resources is the group and is represented with the word G. And the username of the user is what? HRP1. It has been decided that this HRP1 needs access to this word file. But since this file contains confidential information, no one else in the HR group needs access. That's fine. That means the user must what? Have access. No other person in the HR group should have access. You run the LOSL to check the permissions of this file. Then when we run this command, these are the permissions. That is to say that the HRP1 already have access, which is what? Read and write what? Access. But the group has read and write what? Access, which is not meant to be, given that they told us that there is confidential information and no one else in the group, HR group that this user belongs to is meant to have access. And the group has what? Read and write. The group owner type has read and write permission that do not align. That means the group owner. I've already told you that owners are three. So when they say the group owner, don't confuse it. It's either they are talking about the owner, the group owner is the group they are talking about. The user owner, and we have the other owner. The other owner is any other person in the department. The user owner is the creator of the file, and the group owner is the department or the group that user belongs to. So they say the group owner has read and write permission, which is not the group owner, which is does not align with the principle of the least privilege. So what are we to do? Is it not to take out the read and write permission from the group? Because they don't have execute. So there is no need trying to remove execute when they don't have any execute. So it's simply to take away the read and write permission from the group, which is the human resource group. And how do we do that? Which command do we use to do that? Which command do we use to use and do that? Can I see? Can somebody either take the mic or use anyhow? Or use the command?
Okay.
The command.
CHF.
Then what is the full command? That's what I'm asking now.
G minus RW.
G minus arrow W. So
I-
what's the
um,
arrow W? What's the command? Full command. That's what I say. Spell out the full command for me. For this particular file you want to remove. So what do we write on the command line? That's what I'm asking.
Can I say something, please?
All right.
Okay, I think it should be CHMOD
Yes.
G minus R, comma G minus W dot
Okay.
bonus bonus dot txt
You
space
also-
bonus dot txt.
You also got it, but I prefer the one Victoria dropped. Command G minus read write. So you don't put both of them. No need of trying to do the G minus R, G minus W. So command G minus R bonus.txt. It will automatically. Remember the G, there is no space between the G and the ROW, please. It goes together. So GW. Then you can also use the other alternative. Command what do you call it? What is this? 700 bonus. Yeah, that's. But when you put 700, you are giving
Not 700.
this thing the execute permission, which wasn't there before. So it shouldn't be 700. It should be what? Read write without execute should be 600. That's for people that are using the numeric, but I'm just okay with the command G minus ROW bonus.txt. That one is okay. It will remove that thing from it. So Rofia, are you saying something?
No, I'm
There
not
is-
saying anything.
So the one you said is okay, but there is no need for us to do G minus R. That will remove the read, then command G minus W. It's just for people that might a little bit confused, or people that don't have time cannot type that out. So when I say command G minus R, that means I'm removing the read and write permission from the group for the file bonus.txt. That is if I am in a directory below the place above the current directory where that file is located. That's where I will use bonus.txt. If I'm not there, I will explicitly write out this thing, what is it called? The file path to locate the particular place where that command has to. So you can see it. This is a solution. This is a solution. This is so explicitly try. So you can still read it and see what we do. The remedy of the situation is to impute command G minus W. Not only the user who needs access to this file. So it's only that user that needs access. Other people don't need access. And the people we find out to have access is the header which shouldn't have access. So you simply have to take out that access from them. And that's all. So anything? Are we still on the same page? All right, Stephanie. Stephanie.
So please, Victoria wrote something. She for her second answer, she wrote commode 600. Wait, I'm coming, please. She wrote commode 600 bonus.txt. But then from the little mathematics you taught us, I think it's supposed to be chemod 6 bonus.txt, or I don't know how she came about the 600. I don't know how it's correct, but she said it was correct. So I don't know if you can like explain
It,
further if it's
it is
correct.
it is correct because she was still just giving other permission. That is the others and group 00. So the others represent, see, those three things. One of them is representing permission for the user. The other one is representing permission for the second character is representing permission for the group. The other one is representing permission for the other. So when she wrote 6, that 6 is simply telling us 110. That is read and write
Yes.
without the code for the user. Then the other 0 is telling us no read and write for the other ones, no read and write for the other ones. So does that clarify? But that's not how that
Yes.
command should be. It's just correcting something that all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, she wrote the right thing. So that's it. So she's right. So what's there? And then you can also, yeah, that's the proper way to do it. That's the proper way to do it. The proper way to do it. For those who are using what is it called? For those who are using number. But me, if you don't know number, stick with what you know until you master number. Before you go and blow up permissions and give people permission they are not meant to. You just blow up the whole thing and give everybody the system permission. Your manager will just come out. First thing, early morning meeting like this, they will call you out. Early morning, it will not a seat, they will just call you out. And also, there is something that we noticed too, that Stephanie, that is the customer care representative, all of it today is resigning because she saw the financial record of the payment that is done in the department and she felt like she was underpaid, seeing that Cynthia, her neighbor, was paid more than she was paid, and both of them came at the same time, and they are doing customer care representative. And this is how you give financial record of employees' payment out to people that they, and when they saw it, there's one thing about this thing, as a cybersecurity person, you are doing a lot more things. You are protecting the image of a company, you are protecting the things that go on a company. Just imagine you giving people access to a document that has payment amount for each employee. And me that is working as a customer care, and then I saw somebody else working as a customer care. We are on the same, we have employed the same time, and they are paying that person 300K, and they are paying you 150. How will you feel? How will you feel? You just write your resignation letter. This and this and this. And by the time you know it, every early Monday morning, everybody have started resigning because of the mistake. Yes, it's confrontation. That's why there are records. You have to be very, very meticulous about this command thing. You have to be very, very meticulous about it. First of all, before you even make any major changes on your company's files and folders, do it with yourself. Create a replicate. That's why I told you people about what? VirtualBox, right? That is anything you want to do. Use that place as a testing ground before you now start doing it in your main system. If it works there, it will work in your system. When you see that thing has worked perfectly well, you can now be able to issue the same thing. So you can create the same file, create the same folder in your system, write that command, exactly the place where you are, then model that the same thing and bring it before you start implementing. Please, if you are not so sure, don't implement directly on a production environment. For most of you who have done software development, you know what is called a production environment. Please do not do that. So try out. So if you are not conservative with the use of number, please stick with what you know till you get conservative with it. I am not saying it's not important. It's important. It will even relieve you of the stress of trying to do the G minus and G plus. So you already just spelled out something that is necessary. See, maybe you write that 600. Didn't you see how it will cover up for so many things that you are trying to do, like the G minus and all those. So that's it. So that's a little exercise on what we have. I wanted us to do practical, but I don't know what my system is doing. And I'm not sure, I'm not promising you all about the, what is it called again? They have already told me to plug external source. And I don't know why my system power bank is not working.
Sir,
So
you say you're not promising us what?
okay, the MySQL I said I would teach you.
Ah,
I'm just
okay.
I'm just looking at time, and we still have one more slide on Linux, and then we have not done practical on this one, and we have not done practical on those the same slide. So if you're able to achieve practical and finish that slide, then we use the Friday to do the conclude everything on Linux. Yeah, if you are not able to do the MySQL, you can continue with the what is it called, with your particular tutor. It's still okay. So I think it I already elapsed so many times because I started taking from the second week of September, I from the third week till now. So you just have barely less than 1 month to learn with him. That's 4 weeks. So if I continue to take, you guys will lag behind. So, but the main thing was to teach you on that Linux. That MySQL was just an extra thing on my end. I wanted to do for you all. So whichever case it might be, so this is me trying to tell you that this is so far so good. We have got this is the lab session that we are meant to do to try us how as we normally used to do it, and you guys. So please revise this thing before then. This is your portfolio, your own that you'll be doing, your own that you'll be doing when I'm done with this. So as you can see, this is your key takeaways that these commands are essential for you to navigate through. So I'm all in for your questions if there is any at the moment, or if there is any. So you have seen so far we have gone. We have seen bring out scenarios that you can use to test run everything that we are learning. We can also do the lab session to strengthen what we have learned so far. If there's any question, do also relate it. If not, we can be able to call it a day as I can do. I don't know. My power bank, my laptop power bank is 100%. Yet it's still not working on my system. I don't know why. I don't know why. All right, Felicia.
Some of the opinion that I don't know if the others will agree. If we can do it tomorrow, that's when your system is fully charged. If we can just do it tomorrow evening.
I don't know. They said people have already scheduled they have already have a fixed schedule about the time of this lecture. So I don't know how feasible that will be. That will be. Okay, you still wanted us to do the my I will finish. I will finish the thing. That's the Linux. I will finish it. It's just that my SQ I was considering. I was just considering how to use it too, because Linux is just used for unstructured data. Unstructured data are data that are not organized. They are just kind of a form of lines. So that's why we're able to do this file and intuition. But if you are using a database, that means a data that is organized in form of columns and rows. That's table, as you call it. Linux will not help you. It's just MySQL that will use. So for you to extract information from databases, like where people store information in columns and rows, you have to use MySQL command. That's why I wanted to teach you. And it is used inside the Linux OS. Stephanie, all right, you can ask your question.
Okay, it's not. I don't have a question. Just like a suggestion.
All right.
For the remaining have like for today, since we cannot go with the lab, I suggest that we just take up quizzes like based on what we've done so far, or even today, and we can use it to like buy time before our time for the classes elapses. And also for this MySQL, it seems very important because database also needs cybersecurity. So maybe we can actually agree as a class, maybe a day aside from our normal class days, we can like schedule depending on whether you're free or not. To then we
If,
learn it, and that'll be
if, okay, if you guys want us to run parallel, this week parallel, that's till Friday, I'm all in. I'm all in. Like I can sacrifice it. So I think these are supposed to be 3 lectures, then plus the 2 MySQL classes. That should be till Friday, Saturday. Yes, that's parallel. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we'll conclude with everything that we have to do. I'm all in. That's from when to when. That should be from uh 7 to all right. So I'm all in. Okay,
Sir,
I'm all in.
let's run parallel.
Mm. Or we can do 3 hours. I think that should be okay. I don't have to.
What
Yeah,
time? Is it the same time, 6 p.m.?
yes, till 9 or whenever mama calls. Till mama calls for people that are living with their mom. Till your mom tell you to come and carry your night food. That you not eating this night. Look at how I'm saying all this is that this is a recording. Okay, so that's it. But I just want to say, but if just in case, but I will finish. I will try up to finish up this Linux. I know that what took us time was network, but we needed that class because it will help you with your class within when you always start doing network analysis and network defenses. So I don't know. I don't know.
I support. Let's
Wait.
come tomorrow, 6 p.m.
Let me let me enter my list. You know our classes is not over. We still have like 30 minutes though. All of you that are just try to run away. So I know that I will still provide. We'll still do our practicals. Though. So if what I am planning to do now would work out, let me even what is it called? Let me even join this meeting with my phone to start with. I think that was okay. I'm still with you all. So is there any other question? You can throw up your question, please. Question based on this topic, based on the suggestions, you can talk about it. Let's see how it goes. I thought that I would be able to finish this then do the practical. I just want us to end by Saturday so that you guys will use the remaining 1 month and do your hands-on practice with TCP dump, all those things, how to analyze issues, logs, and all those things. So, any person that is saying anything? I don't know. What are you deciding? Should we just do the finish of the Linux? We have when do we even have class?
Please, we can go to the message, the in-call message, and indicate our opinions. If we
Okay.
if we are in the parallel classes till Saturday, 6 p.m., then it will include the SQL commands. Same way we go and write our attendance. We should just indicate if we are interested so that we'll know that tomorrow we are meeting.
Okay. So whatever thing that you have decided, or in, I think that should just be like taking your what is it called? Wednesday, are we? Thursday. That's just what it. Wednesday and Friday. That's just the 2 days that after that I will have to take for that to add to the courses to help us. But if it's not possible, there is still okay. We'll still meet on Thursday, then conclude on Saturday. So your tutor would follow suit. My co-facilitator will follow. So whatever you decide, let me know beforehand. So I will prepare myself because also I'm still having classes also, not just with you.
Sir, please, okay, Faithful. Sir, Faithful will let you know.
All right, there is no problem. All right, now.
So
Okay.
it's Faithful.
That's no problem. Is anyone on their PC? Bola, is she here? She know it has been long I've seen her in class. Is anybody on their PC?
Yes, I'm on my PC.
Can you help out? Do you know how to? Can I, if I make you a co-host, who said on the PC? Asibe, right? Or Rafia?
Yes.
It's just for you to help me to have the recording because what is it called?
Okay, no problem.
Can I even make you a this thing? That's even the problem. Am I sure I'm even a host? Yeah. Okay, I need to make you the co-host. don't even know why I can't even make the course. Oh, because I use my distance to log in. I can't make it a course. So if there's anything you guys can share. If anything people are doing, let me even say it because I normally have classes with people on Wednesday and Friday. That's from 8 to 9 p.m. So whatever you guys are deciding, please you should consider me. So let me say that I have classes on Wednesday and Friday by 8 to 9 p.m. So consider me on that. So if you are choosing any time, let it be earlier on so I can easily switch into my class once I'm done. So about whichever case it might be, I'll still try to. I can still talk to your facilitator. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I think we can continue. For most of you that have left, I think we can continue this class. Hmm? Those that have left, can we continue? They have answered my prayer. Can we continue? I'm asking you. They have answered my prayer.
Yes, sir, you can.
So let's do our practical. At least it will help to reinforce what we have learned so far. So, okay, let's do our practical. Let's do our practical. So maybe we just could stretch. The only thing we might do on Thursday and what is it called again? On today, and then tomorrow is just to stretch. That's the only thing that you guys will help me to do. For us to stretch beyond what we are doing. Maybe if we do 3 hours, it's okay. So, but I think I will still not rush it. I'll be patient enough for you to follow through. So let's invariably start our practical in earnest. My power bank let us decided to power my system. All right. I hope you all can hear me. Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right, let me share the practical screen and then we can take it out from there. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. 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 I mean, it's please. I'm still trying to get that love, sir. Okay. All right. I think that's a lot. Don't go through with this. So, still with you all. Uh, I'm We have to keep it to another time. I don't know what my system is doing. Eh? It's not going through. Or is it? Let me check. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my system is not working. The power bank is just misbehaving. I don't know. The power bank is just misbehaving. Maybe I should just use this opportunity to stop the recording. Stop the record. Let me stop the recording. Don't worry, we'll continue the next time. There is no problem. Let me stop